Hey everybody, welcome to Tuneden Live. I'm here with the world record holders, Mr. James HATEM and Mitch CURLEY. How are you guys doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Doing good, man.
You're alive.
Finally recovered.
You're alive, and you broke the record.
And we're wearing our Tuneden shirts.
Thank you for that. All good. All PR is good PR.
Yeah,
It's my favorite color, so I had to wear it.
Gray and black.
And gray.
Oh man, we're also here with Mr. Ryan Fowler.
I'm on this side. It's kind of unnerving, but
Welcome to this side.
I know. It's crazy because you're in that same boat too.
Yeah, I was saying, this is the first time I've ever been on camera. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
James should manage me now.
I've asked not to be on camera with him, so I don't know if this will be correct.
We'll just blur you out.
Yeah. Mitch CURLEY wishes to remain anonymous.
Man.
How are you guys doing?
I'm fantastic. We were saying earlier how we were tired after doing the HATEM festival, but
HATEM Fest.
HATEM Fest.
Yeah,
HATEM Music Festival here at the Tuneden. But there's no way we did put in half as much work as you did running around town playing videos, dude. I stayed in one spot and I was like, oh, that was a lot, and then you just ran everywhere.
Yeah. No,
I looked at James at one point and I was like, man, I'm tired. And he looked at me like, dude, you haven't even been playing the music. Shut up.
I saw the video, I think something of you on the news, and you were just sprinting full back and forth from venue to van.
Yeah.
That is a lot of motivation. You're just suck it up for one day and just be like, I got to do this. This is my one push. I got a team of people behind me that I cannot fail. It's not even you at that point. It's like this team of people that is behind you and the United States of America.
Yeah, right. Of course. Can't forget about that.
Bring it back home to the USA.
Yeah. It was like a really, really watered down Olympics.
Yeah, there's tons of Norwegian whales that are like, you get them. Get them, James HATEM. They're killing my buddies, and I don't like it.
Yeah, we did it for the Norwegian whales, really.
All money is going back to the Norwegian whales.
It was, I think it was 2 months before we actually did the record attempt. I was called into Mitch's office with a couple of people that were involved, and they gingerly asked me what shape I was in, like not to kill my ego. They're like, and actually before they even asked me, they're like, you're breathing pretty heavy up those steps, like kind of that,
just see how serious you are about it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I think I'm in pretty good shape, and they're like, no, you're not. Like, you really need to like work on your cardio. And so
did you
2 months? Yeah. So 2 months I did cardio training just for that event.
See,
and now I'm happy to say those days are behind me.
I asked you about that, and I was like, man, this is the most Nashville answer I've ever heard, or like the quintessential, like, yeah, I'm a Nashville musician. I was like, are you doing stuff to like get ready, like prep your body? And he was like, yeah, I'm like running a little bit, and I'm gonna quit drinking a week before. And that was like,
yeah,
that's it.
Running 3 miles a day. Running 3 miles a day was
a lot.
So that's a lot different than whatever you told me. I was just
not drinking the week of was harder to do. Like, I would have,
yeah.
But yeah, there was it was 2 months. It was jump roping and running, as well as just like your regular workout. And that was, if I didn't do that, I genuinely think I would have had a lot.
Yeah,
it would have been a lot harder.
What do you think your step count was?
I don't know. Somebody in the van, right?
So mine that day it's hilarious on the little chart on your phone, jumped so much. Mine was like 20,000. The guy, Gade, who's our head of, like, he runs Apogee, he got us a lot of the larger venues. He was sprinting back and forth like a madman. He had like 30,000, 35,000 steps that day.
Oh my gosh.
I think we figured out it equaled out to him basically sprinting pretty much like 6 miles.
Oh my gosh.
It was wild.
Sprinting 6 miles?
He was running.
Yeah.
He was running.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, that was the thing, is like, as soon as it was done, we really didn't have a lot of time to get to the next one. And we only had 5, I think we did the math, it was 5 minutes to get to the next gig. That's what we had to do.
4 minutes, 25 seconds on average.
That's insane. Yeah. So that was what we needed to do in order to get to by 2 a.m. on Saturday. That's how we were able to.
And who was the logistics master?
Nick Molly.
And he had to get some kind of crazy program because I was like messing around with Google Maps and just like seeing how many destinations I could add to a thing, and I was like, "There's no way you can do 80."
Well, we tried Google Maps. It limits you to 10.
Yeah.
We're like, well, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But no, Nick and then our other buddy Tim, they both crushed it. But I mean, without them, Nick was the one that Tim got the whole thing kind of like started and pushed it, and then Nick came in and just with his crazy technical brain just
like
ran
what
with
is
it.
mathematically possible? What is mathematically probable?
Yeah.
Like what is reasonable for you to try to do?
Well, there was a moment where it was like, is it like are there enough hours in the day to actually make it happen?
Yeah, it's just math at that point.
And we all know how good at math everybody
and
who's in the music industry is.
I guess I always say that's why I'm a drummer, because then I only have to count to 4.
There you go.
I'm sure everybody.
I couldn't even handle that. I just picked up the guitar.
Well, they needed somebody that was humanly incapable of understanding what they were asking them to do. So maybe that's what it was when they were like, "You get to play all these gigs. I'm going on tour." Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So 24 hours was your time restriction. What were the other rules or things you had to meet, terms of in order to break the record?
You were talking to Guinness, so
so according to Guinness, it was a minimum of 10 minutes per show to be counted as a show. Had to have 2 witnesses at all of the shows, filling out statements for each venue and everything. 24 hours, 10 minutes, 2 witnesses. I think that's pretty much it. It was,
and it just has to be a venue that you're playing.
It
can't
has
be
to be
some
a place
dude's
that
garage.
had music on a regular basis, and they define regular basis as like I think it was
annually.
A minimum 4 nights a week.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So you couldn't do like I can't pick like a festival spot where they only have music once a year or something like that.
And surprisingly, you guys didn't, which I guess will surprise everybody else, you didn't really go to Broadway that much.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean,
you want to take that?
No, I don't.
Neither do I.
I mean,
don't want to talk about Broadway.
you probably could have played. I mean, there's probably 80 venues downtown on
Different
Broadway,
stages.
but you guys played everywhere.
I think Nick figured out that you could have done. I mean, if we had told James this, he would have shot us. But we could have technically done 90 if bars had normally been open till 3 a.m. Like
it's only open
if
till
not for
2.
COVID.
Yeah, that was the thing.
So that was our biggest thing was the time restraint. Bars closing at 2 a.m.
That's crazy.
But even after they do eventually open, it's going to be really hard to get to that number.
Oh,
because that was the thing is these bars really. Not necessarily these venues and everything, it's COVID, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. So when they start to book out 8 months to a year in advance, it's going to be a lot harder to be able to do that stuff. So it was the cause that we were doing it for, to raise money for Music Venue Alliance Nashville and the U.S. Bartenders Guild, as well as the timing of it. It just all really worked to be able to go that route, physically speaking.
And I don't think, again, for the timing thing, just with, again, because of COVID and the cause we were giving back for, I don't think we would have gotten nearly the press either, if not for, so it was just a timing thing. It worked out super well. Yeah. A lot of timing.
Yeah.
Physically, though, it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life.
I can't imagine, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Because in my hand, and Mitch has a picture on his phone of my hands, and they're swollen and they're bloody. And I started to lose motor skills about 68, 70. So I couldn't, my pick was moving and, my fingers were rubbing against the string. So eventually I just started cutting, and there was, as much as I could try. That's what Tim also did really well. He was able to have things in the van of like food, drinks, like it was kind of like a survival.
He went full doctor mode.
Yeah. It's like survival kit van. But it was really difficult to go because really we didn't do it in 24 hours. Really, we played 80 gigs in 20 hours.
Yeah.
So that was even more of a challenge because
take that, Norway.
Yeah.
The whales are happy.
But that was really the challenge because my first gig I started was at 5:45 a.m. on Friday, and I literally didn't stop until 2 a.m. on Saturday. So that was around 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. So it was 20 hours.
You said you had food. What was the go-to, like, God, I need a white macadamia Cliff Bar right now. Like, what's the the thing that got you through, you think, food-wise?
I only ate when I was starving. I only ate when I was starving. I also never looked at the clock. I just asked what number venue we were at because I feel like if I looked at the time, I would have been like, oh my gosh, we have this many hours left.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to if we were breaking it down to venue wise, it's like we just played our 20th venue. We're a quarter of the way there to where we're going. So I never looked at the time, and I only ate when I was starving. And yeah, there were some Cliff Bars in there, some sandwiches. There was pizza later, but I didn't even touch that until I was done.
I don't even know where that came from, to be honest with you.
Great.
At one point, somebody just said there's pizza in the van. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
But
How long did you crash the next day?
I only slept for 4 hours the next day because I think I was still just on an adrenaline high of just It was really crazy. I don't know, how long did you sleep?
I had about 5 hours the next day. I had to wake up with a buddy, clean out the vans, and get those turned back in. So, went to bed around 5 a.m., got up 4 or 5 hours later, and started the recovery efforts. So
was there any point that you guys had that was just like, maybe we won't get it? Either of you? You might have kept that to yourselves.
No, I don't think so, because we were actually ahead of schedule most of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we were 10 venues in and looking at the clock going, all right, we got to have Nick start calling these venues and ask if we can show up 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
So, no, I was pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, it was cool.
There were moments of panic, like the first time we hit Broadway at like noon, and we were only playing like, I remember where we were going. We were going from Ascend to the museum.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 blocks, and we came to a standstill to the point where I got a little nervous in that moment, but we literally just threw the doors open. We were like, well, we're running 4 blocks. Here we go. So,
yeah.
I
with a
couldn't believe
mask.
that you guys were still running ahead of schedule, because Rybar brought this up that when you guys were starting to plan everything, nothing was open nearly to that extent. And so that planning and routing would have been a little bit different, especially because the first time we called you, Mitch, you were about to murder an entire party wagon or bachelorette party on a pedal tavern or something.
That's just a typical Tuesday for me.
Well, yeah.
God.
Yeah, you weren't even working at that point. I think you were just, by yourself. But
yeah. No, I mean, every time... Yeah, when we first started planning, bars were still only open until 11 at that point. And so every time, they would announce like, oh, bars just got pushed back. It was like a little victory for us. So it was great.
Where some of the venues, like, that aren't really open, was it just some dude with like a pair of keys that are like, yeah, come on to Ascend?
Exactly that.
Wow. Dude, I get it, because they're like, we don't have the money to like open and turn the lights on, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, like,
you're just standing outside at Ascend, just like, yes, I'm here, man.
Well, my favorite was actually that was a little. There's some truth to that. Ascend ended up getting bought out for the entire day.
Yeah. So that was the one day Ascend did get bought out.
So okay, so that's crazy. We planned on Ascend not being counted as one of the 80 venues, because when we showed up and they said, sorry, we can't let you in, we had some things change. We left, went to another place, and we came back. I think actually we called you guys. As we were walking back up the second time. Still closed. They didn't leave it open for us. And so we were like, well, stand out in front, and we'll go find an extra venue downtown. So technically you played 81 if they count Ascend.
This is news to me. This is all
You
news.
just forgot that even happened.
That's the thing, is like, it was kind of a blur. It was the closest thing. I said this. It was the closest thing to like Bill Murray Groundhog Day. Where it was just the same group of songs.
Yeah.
Getting in the same van, same thing, just getting out, playing, getting back.
was it all originals?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just
all
like...
So I hate all of those.
Well, my goal when I set out was, let's find an idea that'll get James to quit music.
Yeah.
And I think we almost got it.
I think we almost got it. Yeah. That was the real, method to the madness.
So how did the brainchild actually, like, I remember you saying that, like, Mitch came to you at one point, was just like, hey, you want to do something stupid?
Yeah.
And you just said,
Yes.
yep.
Yeah.
No idea what that
There was no context.
And
That's why Mitch came up to me, because he knows that would be my answer.
Yeah.
Anytime those are the bets, like, do you want to do something stupid? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Because you called me, and just a quick phone call, and it was so ambiguous. It was just like, what do you think about something in early April? And I was like, for what? And you're like, I don't really know yet. But just I just had like a bunch of question marks written down by your name in my notebook on our call. I was like, I guess we're gonna find out what that was.
Yeah, it was weird. There was a lot of things that we just didn't know throughout the day. For example, the first gig cops showed up, which was very interesting. Do you want to tell that story? Because you actually had to deal with them.
I really enjoyed that. Yeah, no, we 5:45. The pavilion in Centennial Park. We're all excited. You know, it's the first one. We had
Channel 2's there, Channel
2,
5's
Channel
there.
5. We had a radio guy there.
Yeah, guy walking his dog at 5:45
Yeah, a random
a.m.
dude just
enjoyed the show. It was
showed
just
up,
great.
so we had like a fan,
Uh-huh.
and we're like, man, and I'm yelling out the times to James. He's like, all right, you got 3 minutes left, you know, and about the 3-minute mark, blue lights, and
Come flying in.
blue lights. The guy flies in and gets over his radio and is like, you need to move all these cars. I was like, well, this is a great look on the news, right?
Yeah,
now.
like, and I think I have 1 minute left.
Yeah, and so James, he looks at me like while playing. He's like, "What's the time?" I was like, "You got 2 minutes." And so I ran over to the cop and was like, "Hey, man, like, we're in the middle of something. We'll be out of here in like 30 seconds." And he looks at me and goes, "In 20 seconds, everybody's getting tickets." And I was like, "Okay." And so I pointed at our 2 drivers who were driving the vans. I was like, "Start the cars, get ready for everybody, just jump in and leave quickly." So I stalled him for about a minute, which gave him enough time to finish his 10-minute set.
Yeah.
I came over. We thanked the news, ripped a mic pack off of James, gave it back to him. We were in the vans on to the next one. So
Jeez.
that's how we started.
Yeah, that was the first gig.
So
That was the first gig. There were definitely
that was our only issue with cops the whole day.
right, but then that made the news, right? So that was the morning. That was the morning news, and so then, but luckily they edited out. I don't know why they edited out when the cops showed up.
No.
But yeah, so they captured the magic of that first like 7 minutes of like just.
They didn't
playing-
even just ask for a permit or anything, or just like not even a question like, "What are you guys doing?"
No.
No,
Well, I
we
had
don't
called
care.
Metro like a week beforehand just to be like, hey, there's going to be 2 white vans just driving around Nashville like madmen, just
Good
so
luck.
you know.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, oh, all right, that's cool. But he didn't get the message.
Yeah,
So
but because it was on the news, it was on the morning news, and then that aired, and so a lot of the GMs at bars saw this,
Uh-huh.
and so I was getting messages on Facebook. Actually, Big Shot, shout out to Big Shots. Big Shots general manager said, "Hey, I just saw you on the news. You're trying to do this. Like, if you want to play our bar, we'll make room for you."
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was really awesome. So the news coverage and everything really helped out on a lot of levels for us to be able to, if something did go wrong, we had a backup, and just a lot of things. We did a lot of prep, but a lot of things happened on the day of that we couldn't have even prepped for.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean, just the media attention on the cause, and then the media attention to these bars that need people to come and spend some money and watch some shows and stuff.
Yeah. It was wild. I mean, it was really the stories that we got from the day were insane. It was wild. It was definitely a challenge.
James almost had to fight a DJ. That was fun.
That was the
We
last
ended
gig.
the
That
night.
So
also
that- yeah.
sounds like a Tuesday.
Oh
so.
yeah, that's
yeah,
just
that was the last gig. It
was that downtown somewhere?
New Midtown?
Oh, that's mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, I played 800 minutes of music that day, right?
Mhm.
And so I was at minute 792, and I was ready for this. I was ready to this. I was seeing the finish line. And then behind me, I finished up my first song, which, by the way, was a slow acoustic ballady song because the energy level for me was just trying to get through.
Yeah.
And behind me, this DJ comes behind. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he had done a set on the stage before I got there, and he was just like, "Yeah, keep going with that. I'm gonna spit a verse." And I was like, "No." I was like, "Man, no, you're not." I was like, I just. I've had a long
my
day.
God.
Like, I got 8 minutes left until this whole thing is over.
And he knew that was your last.
No, he had no
He had
idea.
no
he
clue
just
what was
wanted to spit a
happening.
verse.
He just wanted his moment.
So he's like, and I was like, "No, man, like, no." And he's like, "No, kid, no." Like, I spit sick rhymes, like keep going.
He
I
kept
was like,
saying, he was like, Kel, it's my boy. Kel, it's my boy.
yeah. And I was
"Get
like,
off the
no.
stage.
And then he started to
Oh
get,
my
then he started to get
God.
angry at me and start walking towards me with anger. And that's when Mitch and Nick jumped up on stage, and then they got in a fight with him. Meanwhile, as they're fighting on stage, this guy's throwing his equipment around, having a hissy fit because he can't lay a verse on this really underwhelming acoustic ballad.
Nick and I are pushing him back. I'm like, hey, man, James, 2 minutes. Hey, man, come on.
Yeah. No, I'm
James,
still
1 minute.
playing. Like, I'm like, please, like, let these 10 minutes be done because this is, of course, this would happen on the last gig. Of course, this would happen.
That's very mid. That's if you ever wanted to know what Midtown is like at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That's it every night.
Yeah.
But if anybody's looking for a job as a DJ, Rebar's hiring.
Yeah. Not wrong.
But no, it was awesome. I mean, we had a lot of things pop up that day that were better than we expected, and nothing horrible, just unexpected.
But that's why you surround yourself with the team that you do. It's not because things go well. It's like you want the people there when, everything hits
and
the fan.
that's the thing. Everybody, we had 2 venues that had to drop literally pretty much that morning, and so it was hour 10 into the 24 hours, and we did a little while he was playing a set. We did a little team powwow, and we were like, we need a couple extra venues. Just we need them. We're only at 78 right now. That's not enough. And so,
that's already 15 or 13 ahead of the
13
record.
over the record. Yeah. But no, the team was awesome because everybody immediately, it would have been very easy to just be like, well, 78's good. But now everybody was like, all right, well, let's go find them.
Yeah, we're
Especially
here
after the
now.
whole-
Let's keep going.
So we had Highwire Productions helped us with a bunch of venues downtown. And shout out to them. They're awesome. Matt Jones. And so it was like the first of a string of 7 of those in a row downtown.
That nearly killed
And,
me. That nearly killed me.
Yeah, we send him on stage, and me, Matt, Lindsay, and Ben, a couple team members, we all stepped outside of the bar, and we were like, all right, 2 of us are going this way, 2 of us are going that way. We're going to talk to bouncers and sound guys until we find 2 more stages. And we did. We found 2 more stages.
Yeah.
So that was an unexpected part of the evening,
Right.
too. Didn't think that on the day of, an hour 15, we'd have to find more venues.
Well, that sounds like Nashville.
That's the most Nashville story
shake
ever.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you still good for that, right? In an hour?
Yeah.
Oh man, actually.
And all the bars that I talked to, same thing. I'm yelling. There's a band playing. I'm yelling at a bouncer about the whole thing. Half of them said no. The other half would let me in. I talked to the sound guy, and everybody was like, "Yeah, that's awesome. When are you doing it?" And I was like, 10 minutes from now.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We can't do that."
Right.
And so, but no, everybody was cool, and we found them. So it worked out.
How did you? I was wondering the night of if you had built in, even if you had gotten to 80 and you thought that you had time if you were going to do more, because maybe when they go watch the footage or something, they say that venue didn't count, or did you build in extra venues just to account for stuff like that?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, I know he would have shot me if I came to him and said, we need to do 85 in case they don't count 5 of them. And so, I mean, in our...
It's so physically. I don't think people understand how physically demanding it was, because it was just me and the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So I needed to keep my voice up for 24 hours. I needed to keep my guitar playing up for 24 hours. I wanted to commit to it too. If I was going to do it, I was going to do it.
Were you just wearing a Camelback as a catheter?
Oh God.
I didn't even think about that until just now.
That's a brilliant idea. Where's that idea last week?
Yeah,
Well, you know what, man? You got.
We could have hit 85, Ryan. We could have done 85.
That's what.
Yeah, my hands were. I mean, my guitar playing hand was literally swollen, and I couldn't feel the tips of my fingers, which was alarming for me, because I plan on doing this more than just April 9th to April 10th.
Yeah.
So that was very alarming. My voice just started to get tired at the end, because it was going for 20 hours straight. We put breaks in there, but when we would take our breaks, and News Channel 5 would show up, and we're like, hey, would you want? So you have to do that, because you want to get as much attention to this as possible, to get the word out, to get donations in, to be able to help these organizations. We wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
There's
Speaking of
arguably
which-
more going on during the breaks than playing.
Yeah.
Which
So
was
there was no
wild.
real breaks. And so that was the thing, is I wish I could have done 85, but I think everybody by the way, that was the thing, we were packing up, and everyone's like, man, I'm so tired. My legs are killing me. And I'm like,
Shut up.
yeah. I'm trying to not be, a jerk, but it was man, it was very, very, it was so physically draining after 80.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would have done it if we tried to do it with a band. Load in and load out would have cut
No
into
way.
time.
No way.
Even if we had extra gear, that still load in and load out would have added up. So that was why, the world record at the time was a band in Norway at 65, and we did 80 in 20 hours. So I don't think it would have been able to do that if it wasn't just me on the acoustic guitar going in and out.
Right.
I didn't even know they had 65 venues in Norway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fact check it.
somebody's going to call me on that now. Norway's out
Norway,
for us
yeah,
right
Norway,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Secret Service, the Norwegian
I mean,
Secret
think
Service.
about the math on that is 4 venues an hour for 20 hours straight at 10 minutes a venue. That leaves 20 minutes of travel
between the
the 4 venues per hour in Nashville. So yeah, you're talking about 5. Yeah, that's 5 minutes.
Taverns.
5 minutes per venue, and you said it averaged to what 4 something?
About 425. Yeah. There were a couple times where, like,
I mean,
and again, shout out to our drivers, Nolan and Tim. They crushed it. But there were a couple times where, like, we were like getting violent. We were like, go around these guys right now, and like it got weird for a while there in the van. All those pedal taverns.
I'm from New Jersey. So my road
bad.
rage is.
So you should have been
top-notch.
driving.
oh yeah, Tennessee is bad. Nobody knows where they're going. Everybody's from out of state. You got to.
You're stuck behind a tractor that's pulling a hot tub with a bunch of drunk chicks in it.
Bunch
You're
of
like, why are we doing
girls.
this?
Oh, man. When we hit
It was a
Broadway,
weird day.
when we had that 7-show stint when we were on Broadway, which was Luke Bryan's place, FGL House.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. I mean, it was crazy. And so, that was the other tough thing is that when you showed up to a venue, this was the first time they were seeing you. So it's like you're playing a 10-minute set. Why would you be tired? Where's your energy?
Yeah.
Really, it was my 73rd.
And you don't have
set.
time to go, hey, my name's James HATEM. I'm going to stand up here and break the world. It's just like get on, sing, leave. And
Right. That was but we did every time there were people there. I did make the announcement of every time we were doing a live stream, like the 5 Spot and the basement did live streams, and like so that was when I would say, hey, we're trying to raise money. This is why we're doing this.
And the donation page, is it still up?
Yes, the donation page is still up, and we're still taking donations.
Basement-to-bridgestonearena.com.
Yeah.
Ours is still up for HATEM Fest too.
Yeah, if
So
you guys
we'll
want
keep that one up for the rest of the month also.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah, now that that was the thing. You want to talk about the press angle of this to help even get more money, because like trying to beat the record was one thing, but beating the record.
We had so many people that we reached out to, like some big like national press outlets that were all like, "Well, this is awesome. Call us if you do it."
Right.
You know, like, all right, yeah, okay, you're okay. Go play 80 venues, sure. Call us if that happens. And so now, like, that's why this whole week and next week are arguably crazier than the months leading up to it, because now we're really pushing it and getting it out there on a national level to really raise money for Music Venue Alliance and the Bartenders Guild. Yeah. So it's been I think that's why I'm still recovering, just because it's been a week of just nonstop still talking about this with a bunch of people. But it's been awesome, and it's been well received, and it's been picked up by some bigger outlets. So it's exciting every time. I mean, AOL just posted about it on like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Insider Edition posted about it like Tuesday. So I mean, we're in talks with some others.
Awesome.
So it's been cool.
Dude, it's a shame that you have to do that though. You have to be like, hey, I'm planning on doing this and making this happen.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, you have all that planning and a whole team around you making this happen in literally Music City? Yeah, good luck. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a crazy idea. I don't blame them.
Yeah,
if somebody came to me and said we're going to do that, I would have been like,
yeah,
okay.
you should have taken bets.
Yeah,
10-1 odds.
In
we'll do
Vegas, Vegas was trying to figure it out.
We could have raised so much more money.
Speaking of which, we just have to say the link is scrolling across on the ticker, but you can go to tunedenlive.com/HATEMFest, which is our digital festival that we put on at the same time we were able to call
which
you.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys want to talk about that?
Yeah.
That's
How
really
did that go for you guys?
I wish we were able to watch the whole thing. It looked awesome.
No, it was
great.
It was great, and we just felt bad being, we were like, oh, that was a long day. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm honestly always surprised when we turn stuff on and it works. So we did 5 shows in a row. I was pretty daggum impressed that we could do it. And the coolest thing was being able to call you in the van. I really felt like I was a freaking like news show or something. It was. I am until you say that I am not in this town.
I love it.
That was fun to get the calls in the van, because that's what
that was cool.
That was Mitch would say, hey, do you want to call in a Tuneden really fast? I was like, great. I won't say anything. At all,
but just to get to see your face was like, yes, we got you, buddy. We're
Yeah. First one call in was just like, yeah, man, really excited. By the second call in, it was.
Yeah.
That was it.
Sign language was pristine by that time.
Chugging tea and honey, just like, I'm going to save my voice on this one.
Yeah, I literally was chugging lemon, like an entire bottle of lemon juice, straight lemon juice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's not all glamour, okay? It's not all glamour.
Is that good for your voice?
No, he just likes to do it.
No, yeah, no lemon juice. Yeah, actually, it just
I
fell on a weird day. Every Friday, I
know
drink
that.
a bottle of lemon juice, so it just.
I always hear like these crazy old wives' tales that are like, I eat a bag of plain potato Lays before I go because the grease coats them. I'm just like, this sounds like BS. I don't know what you guys are doing. I drink bourbon and I throw my vocal cords out the old-fashioned way.
Nice. There you go.
Same.
Just stretch them and blow them out.
James was chugging lemon juice. I was trying to drink a beer at every venue.
Yeah, 80
That
beers.
was my own record.
That's
80
another
beers in
world
24
record.
hours.
So that's. Did you come up with the idea of doing the 80 in one day? Like, where did? Honestly, that was
him.
You're like, hey, let's write a record. and
What were your other 3 options of world record attempts if this one wasn't going to work? You're scrolling, like, how big are his feet? No, that's not going to do it. He bites his fingernails. We can't. I don't have 25 years to grow those out.
How long do you want to grow your hair? No, it's I don't really know where the idea came from. I thought of it first back in like November, I think it was, of 2020. And I had a very small role on a team with a larger band that broke some records over in Dubai. And I was talking with their manager, who's a mentor of mine, and I really look up to him. And he was so excited about having a plaque with his name on it from Guinness World Records. And I was like, I want a plaque with my name on it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get one for this. I have like this big of a role, so I'm going to find my own way to do that. And so I
Now to
drank a
find
couple
someone
beers
stupid
and-
enough to go along
Yeah.
with the plan.
Yeah.
Well, I drank a couple beers and started Googling like music world records.
That's hilarious.
And found that band in Norway and was like, well, that's cool. That should be easy to do, right? And then called James like 2 weeks later and was
That's
like, hey,
hilarious. I'm
I'm sure this will be a piece of cake. Don't worry about it.
You had to find your horse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, all right,
Yeah.
this is the
And
race.
I've known James for so long. I knew that and it went exactly like you said. Like he didn't even ask what it was. I was like, you want to do something really stupid? And he was like, absolutely. I was like, perfect.
That's what Danny said too. Everybody that knows me was just like, it makes sense that you would try to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it just
Anybody else would have been like, well, what's the idea? Like,
Yeah.
I could have been like, well, we're gonna skydive while you play a show, and he would have been like, all right, cool. So
that sounds, honestly, I'd do that too. That sounds pretty good. Just
next
get a
year.
little-
Next year.
It's a little like a little
boy.
micro amp or something, and just shred the whole way down. That's the way. And if you're going to go, that's a great way to go.
That's a great way to go.
sponsored by American
People will be
Airlines.
talking. People will be talking.
Dude, you're going to talk to people, musician buddies, a year into a pandemic. They're just like, man, I didn't do anything. And you're like, I played 80 shows last year.
I played 80 shows yesterday.
Yeah.
There's one video out there from one of the press outlets that has a bunch of comments on YouTube, and one of my favorite comments was a guy that I'm gonna butcher it, but it was some random YouTuber, and he was like, "Other musicians, man, I can't wait for this pandemic to be over so I can play shows. This guy, ...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome.
The other
Exactly.
one. The other one on that was the other comment I liked was Sonic the Hedgehog has a competitor. That was really
Uh-huh.
yeah. There was. It was good. It was
That's
good.
good.
What was the pancake one?
This guy plays 80 shows in a day. Me eats 80 pancakes. In a day. YouTube is such a fun place. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, it can be. It can
It
be.
can be horrifying.
Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be terrifying.
But no, I think that was like, everybody's sick of this pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like,
Dude, we know this is why we started Tuneden.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I said I can't go play downtown anymore, and my buddies can't either. We can at least, find a place that has not as many people in one room and try to broadcast a show. And I never thought I would do that. I'm a freaking guitar player.
Yeah.
And now you got this going, which is awesome.
bought. I know we bought cameras. It looks like a freaking
Yeah.
studio in here. It's
It is
weird.
a studio. It is
Yeah.
a studio.
I know.
This is incredible.
But no, I think like nobody wanted to be the first to do something crazy or like go do.
And we did it safely too. I should
Yeah,
say.
oh, yeah.
That was
yeah.
the thing. Is like we all got tested. We all wore our masks. We got SKM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
SMK,
masks,
sorry, SMK to supply us masks and
everything.
and that's why it was great. A lot of the venues just had the 2 witnesses in it, so it would count because we didn't want to risk anything like that.
Yep.
When we were running around Broadway, unless the one time we obviously wore masks. That was the other difficult thing is that I was wearing a mask running down Broadway for 4 blocks, and then I had to play a 10-minute set and then keep running.
Yeah.
So, but like later on in Broadway, when we were doing Luke Bryan's place and we were doing FGL House and all those places, they brought us around back, so we didn't interact with any people, and we were able to not get caught up with
The lines in
the
the
traffic,
front.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
And just dealing with the sidewalk in front of Broadway is hard.
We made sure it was a
Well, that's the other
sanitized
thing.
microphone.
all the bouncers that night at all the bars and like Printer's Alley, Demumbrium, Broadway, all those bouncers were really cool too. I first saw that being an issue. You know, you got 8 people sprinting up saying, "Hey, you got a crazy line, but we're coming in right now." And you know, you never know how the communication is at the bars.
Right.
So, but no, every single place, all the bouncers were like throwing the line out of the way and just being like, "Go,
That's
go,
good.
go."
That's
So,
good to
like,
hear. They're probably
great.
excited to see people that aren't there just to take a dump on Nashville. Like, I
Exactly.
swear, like that's what Broadway and Midtown turned into this year. Is just like people just coming here to get way drunker they would get at their own house.
Yeah,
Correct.
It is terrifying to walk downtown sometimes. It's like Mardi Gras every night.
It's where nightmares are born.
It really is.
And
it's
dreams
fun
go to
people
die.
watching. It's fun.
Just-
I mean, there was a couple moments where like I was standing by the vans, waiting for them to catch up after I went and found a couple more venues, and we're standing by the vans. Tim, Danny, and I. We're just people watching, and we're like, man, this is a horrible place. This is also a really horrible place if you're the only sober one.
Yes.
And you're just watching all this
Yes,
happen.
it's like a nature documentary gone wrong.
Yeah, just zombies.
Just David Attenborough's like, look at the grown adult male over there.
Yeah.
You just see somebody about to fight each other for no good reason. Oh, look.
We watched
that one
people
touched
almost
that
fight a
girl's
car.
butt for
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
We watched people run into cars because they forgot where they were.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw people just, like, oh, this is my favorite. No, we did. That some woman Danny saw this. She like turned around and just like smacked her face on an Escalade and like was just kept going. Just
One of
like
the
nothing
funniest
happened.
things I ever saw is I had forgot something. 4th of July, I had to run back to my car, and there was like a closed block between Broadway and then like whatever behind it. And there is one of the drunkest people I've ever seen trying to get into the back of a cop car like it's his freaking Uber. And the cop just gets out of the car and is like, "What are you doing?" And has to put him in the back of the car. He's like, "You're my ride." The cop's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh, man. I mean, I've been allegedly pretty drunk in my days, but I've never been like lay on the streets of Broadway drunk, which we saw a lot of that
Dude.
night. It's like that's next level. So,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
It's they don't care. They're just overserving the crap out of people out there.
But no, it was great. I mean, well, not that, but us being sober and running around was great. Getting to witness
Kind
that.
of.
Yeah.
Kind
It
of.
was comical.
Because
I'm glad
there
the
were things
bouncers
that just
helped
didn't
you
go wrong. There were things that just took a turn for the worse and the weird when you went to like FGL House rooftop.
That
So
was a weird. That was a weird time. It was a really weird time.
Weirdest 10 minutes.
Really?
I'm
Just 'cause of the-
including my college.
You know, I'm gonna say this one was James's fault though.
All right, so let me explain why it was maybe my fault, but it was like gig like 73 or 4 or something like that. I mean,
We had the record at this point.
we had the record at this point, and like I'm also an entertainer, right? Like I love this. I do this. It's really entertaining. And there was the rooftop crowd at FGL. And I was on the stage. I was away from everybody. It was great. I had my sanitized mic and I had my mask right here. I was like, oh, yeah, this is great. Like having fun. So I loosened up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was my mistake.
First mistake.
Yeah. That was my mistake. It's like, hey, I'm having fun. Let's have some fun. And there was a girl dancing down off the stage. And she did this dance move that was awful. Like it was a terrible dance move. And I was like, oh, we'll support her. So I said, hey, great job. Like I stopped playing and I was like, great job. Like that was an awesome dance move. And everybody started like clapping for her. And she was like, oh, later. But all I said was, great job. You redefined dance. I was like, it was just like, and it's just to stop playing, just to like give her a shout out. I'm resting my voice. Everybody's going crazy. I'm not playing guitar like continuously. So that was it. And then I started to play guitar again. When I looked at this girl and said, great job, you'd redefine dance. She heard, come up on stage with me and let's sing one. That's what she heard in her drunk state. So this woman jumps up on the stage and starts walking towards me.
Oh god!
And I literally run away from her because I'm like, what? Yeah, so I was like running away. And I'm running away, and I'm like, you have to get off the stage, COVID. She's like, what are we singing? What is going on?
Strawberry wine.
Yeah. And I was,
Do you know that one?
Yeah, and literally Mitch and Nick
Mm-hmm.
swooped in and like took this girl off the stage before but I literally ran away from. I literally was just playing guitar, like running away, like. get off the stage, please. Like, you're not supposed to be here.
So you brought your own microphone to every gig too?
We had microphones that we used that were sanitized beforehand. So by the time to go, because I literally just had a guitar, but yeah, Nick made sure.
It's another thing I didn't think about till just now.
Yeah, that was that. Nick made sure that we were okay with the sanitized mic. And every time I talk to Nick, I'm like, Nick is we're good. He's like, yep, everything's good. And he was
a very calming voice the whole day.
Yeah, he was on it. Yeah. He was on it.
Just spraying people in the face with Windex and just
pretty much. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I literally would run away from people. Like I'm not messing around here. So.
Injecting shots of bleach. Y'all let us in. Let us in.
Well, but no, I mean, we made sure it was super COVID safe because we were met with a lot of backlash. From a couple places, like a lot of backlash when we started planning this.
It was rough.
That seems counterintuitive to me, but as a venue owner to say, because I'm sure you presented it to them as it's a team of people, less than 10 people are going to be in the room, especially if you're closing. It's to help you and the people that work at your venue.
You should see I got novels of emails from angry venue owners who just said the worst things about us and their whole team, saying that we're basically going to kill people.
And then you didn't and then you just didn't play at those places?
No, you respond back and say, "Oh, sorry, you don't get to be a part of it, but thank you for your
No, but
support.
I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad that we got such a backlash because we were like, we need to make sure that this is the safest event because
That's true. It led to that. Yeah. After that, it was like January. I had just sent out the first batch of emails trying to get in the venues that I had worked with in the past and everything. And we didn't even have any yeses or confirms or anything. The first email I got back was just a novel of why this is such a horrible idea and just this is the worst and don't do this.
And this was before the vaccines were really solidified.
Yeah,
this again, we started working on this idea way before the vaccines were out to the public, way before it started to.
But these bars were already starting to open up back.
Yeah.
I mean, there was you could have 50 people a floor and still have at least an acoustic. I mean, it was not unreasonable what you were asking. You were following the rules of the city. Really.
Oh, absolutely. But it worked out because again, it led to us making sure that we did everything such by the book.
Yeah.
That I mean,
we had to.
Yeah. We were the safest people.
That was
Nashville
super important. So. That was. That we were the team wore, like I said, the team wore masks. We all got tested. We all made right before the event. It was important that we do this because we wanted to do something that was entertaining that people got attention on, so that we could raise money for the organization that we were trying to raise for, while being safe on top of all that. That's why a lot of the news footage was us playing in front of 5 people. It was the 2 witnesses and the people that worked there. Still counts as a show by the Guinness World. We're like, well, there was only 2 people at that. Yeah, no kidding. We're in the middle of a pandemic still, and we were trying to be as safe as we can be.
And it might not have even been able to happen, honestly, if it was a Friday during some other time. There's no way that you guys would have been able to get through those crowds and everything if that wasn't happening. So it was just there's a catch-22, and I think we've dealt with this here at Tuneden. Was we have to create as safe of a place and environment as we can, because we knew that if something happened to us or someone in the crew, then our studio is shut down for 2 weeks or so, and then it cancels those shows for all those potential artists coming in. Yeah. So we've been doing everything we can to be as safe as possible. Yeah. So knock on wood, it's worked for us, but man, trying to plan this if during CMA Fest or something,
impossible.
It would have been.
You guys probably
impossible.
Still played to more people than some of those venues in Norway, right? There's no way there was those 65 venues the Norwegian band did were packed. Every one of them. That's every person in Norway. There's no way.
They had to get exceptions for narwhals counting as audience.
Yeah, that's a one body and one horn. Those are real animals.
Dolphinicorns.
Narvals.
Well, maybe that's the next record. Is we're gonna play to the most narwhals ever or something.
That'd be amazing.
Speaking of which, what's next? What's the plan going forward? I mean, James, you said you're quitting music.
Yep.
Mitch, you said you're moving to a farm in Oklahoma and raising
play the most
rare type of sow. I can't remember what.
They're going to play the most shows in space.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, we've partnered with SpaceX. Elon is on board. No, we got ideas. They're too far out to really kind of throw them out there yet, We're still hashing a couple of them out, but I mean, we sat down a month ago and we were like, man, whatever we do next, we got to top this. So,
Prove
and we're
the
going
Earth.
to. We're still hashing it out.
You're gonna prove the Earth is flat. There you go.
Oh,
Did you tell him?
Yeah, I was about to say, how did he know? How did he know?
you do a HATEM Fest at the end of the earth.
Yeah.
Just right there on the edge.
Oh.
I'd go.
I love that.
I'd
But
go.
no, we're excited. I mean, well, I'm excited. James, I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm excited. As long as we're not doing...
Yeah, I can tell by the way he said it 3 times. He's very
I'm
convinced.
excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
No, so now it's got to flip on its head. Mitch, now you're up, and James, you get to plan whatever it is.
And that's how you know it's going to be foolproof. When I'm
How fast do
planning
your fingernails grow?
Not fast enough for a record.
it. You see that?
No, that's I'm trying to think what record I would even attempt to do. That's so daunting.
I would encourage everyone to go follow the Guinness World Record page on Instagram because there
Yeah.
are the weirdest records.
Yeah.
For like, I was watching one that was like most weight lifted by your shoulder blades. I was like, that's a thing? Like, that's weird.
And I'm sure
just
it's
the
just an
weirdest-
insane amount. You're just like, how and why, how?
Drink a couple whiskeys and just go through their Instagram page and you'll just laugh. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
More
Weird.
music management just said, "What up, boys?" So I guess the
Danny, what's up?
Do not answer that. Don't answer. We know who that is. Don't answer.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
blocked.
I don't think it'll be another record, the next one.
No.
It'll just be a crazy idea. It'll be another thing that makes people go, really?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a record.
I think the skydiving thing sounds good.
Yeah,
We do.
Have you ever gone skydiving?
No.
I have.
yeah, I did.
No, but if I'd do
You
it
don't
with
get
a
that. You don't
guitar.
get that stomach thing.
No, you don't.
Like you know, a roller coaster.
It was
which is
just it was
awesome.
more of the scared thing when they're like,
Oh,
"Yeah, put your
really?
legs out
Yeah.
the plane."
You don't get the.
The drop?
Yeah, you don't get that.
Really?
You just. I remember it was just. I remember I went. It was you and tandem jumping.
Yeah. They
You
don't
have
they don't
to-
let you. Well,
Right.
I mean, it was in Tennessee, so I guess you could probably find a couple places that
Mine
would
was
let you just jump.
Mine was in Jersey. I think it was like it was definitely run by the Russian mob. There were these two like Russian guys doing tandem jumping, and it was called Jersey Shore skydiving, where it was legit safer.
Oh,
It was
my.
legit safer to jump
No.
15,000 feet out of a plane than stay in the plane that we went up in because I was like, this thing's
Oh
going
my.
down. Fast.
This sounds like a front for the mom.
Jersey
Dude,
Shore.
this
Well, it was funny. It was funny.
Get
Like
them to
you know.
die.
So all I was.
What
in-
does Snooki have a piece of that?
Yeah.
Like
You Google them,
probably.
they're not there anymore.
Yeah, Jersey Shore skydiving. Yeah, but no, we did this in high school, and it was like, all right, let's do this. And whoever like, if you back out, we're gonna make fun of you probably for the rest of our lives, right? Because that's just what you do as good friends in New Jersey. You make fun of people until they cry, and then you
Yeah.
just wait a week and then do it again. But then we went to this place, Jersey Shore skydiving, and we were supposed to have a 3-hour lecture of how to properly step outside of a moving plane to prep to go skydiving. And this 3-hour lecture was 1 minute. This guy goes, all right, here's the stool. Put your foot on the stool, lean out, wait for the tandem person, and then it's done. Is there any questions? And it was
Yeah.
silence because we were just like in shock of like, wait, what? And then we went up. I waited to go last because I really didn't want to do it, but I waited to go last, and it was me and my buddy Connor Mariani. And so we go up, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh God, like nobody backed out, so my plan was ruined. I'm like, oh, Adam backed out, so I'm not doing it. Nobody backed out. So we're up, and I'm like getting nervous, and this big Russian guy who's tandem jumping with me, he's just looking at me, just staring. And I looked at him.
Did you guys go front to front?
No.
James asked for that, though.
Yeah.
I think you pay extra.
Yeah, pay a little extra. But he's just looking at me, and I was like, man. And I like, that was like a confessional, like I'm about to die. And I was like, dude, I don't even want to do this. This was our friends wanted to do this. Like, I can't back out now. I'm scared. I was like, I can't go back down in this plane, but I'm I don't know what to do. And this guy, if he understood me at all, he just stares at me. He goes, when I go up in plane, I don't come down in plane.
Boris, my man.
I was like, I have to do this, but I don't want to do this. Like, we have to do this. Like, I have to. That was his response. He's like, when I go up in plane, I don't come down in plane.
Oddly comforting.
Yeah. It was truly an incredible experience. Terrifying.
What's the company called?
a Jersey Shore skydiving.
No.
Which is owned by Splat LLC.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's
The
some
umbrella
backwards.
company.
Yeah, there's some shady companies in New Jersey that are definitely mafia related. Maybe would have been this one.
So we're gonna call them
Yeah.
for the record of most skydives.
Now,
out of a plane while
the
playing
Russian
music.
mob is going to be coming after me. you gave away our business. Yeah.
That's how
We
they're
did look
laundering
up.
money.
We looked up the highest concert. Remember looking that up? I don't
Yeah.
remember what it was. We were like, man, how many floors up would you have to
Something
go to
in
break the record?
Nepal.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't as many as you would think. I don't remember what it was. It was like 98 floors.
Oh, stories.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking somebody like on a mountain.
No, we
playing
couldn't find anything
somewhere.
for that. But no, this was just like in the highest building, like on the rooftop. It was like 90 something. But
Oh.
So
like
you
there's
know,
a
like-
radio station in Chicago or New York that's
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
be up in some.
It was, I'm sure.
Yeah, which ones did the Beatles play on? Didn't they play on the top or the roof or
Oh,
something?
that was
So-
Abbey
I don't-
Road.
yeah.
On the top of their studio.
Oh, yeah, that thing probably wasn't that many stories.
No, probably not.
No.
But it was great. It was
We
great.
just need,
it was a great time.
yeah, we need just like 100 stories.
Go to the Eiffel Tower. How big is that?
You're really hitting us with the trivia right now.
Yeah.
300 feet?
I don't do trivia well.
It's
That's 30
meters.
stories.
Rybar.
Oh, no. Mitras.
Mitre.
I think they actually, that's like 20,000 cigarettes. That's how tall it is.
That's how they measure everything.
Yeah.
and two plays.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
So we'll see. It'll be whatever the next one is. Will be something.
Yeah.
We got Nick Haynes and
Nick, yeah.
old Megan HATEM is
Oh.
watching.
Yeah, Megan. That's my sister. Nick Haynes is an
Had no
incredible,
idea you went
incredible trumpet
skydiving?
player.
He was
Megan
there.
didn't know I went skydiving?
He was there at one of the venues. Was he?
What?
I don't know.
Nick
I blacked
Haynes,
out.
I don't know. Nick Haynes is an incredible trumpet player and arranger musician in town. He's a good buddy of mine. He's awesome. And Megan HATEM is my sister, who's also awesome and has her own fair share of
Good save.
talent.
And
Good
a stake
save.
in the New Jersey skydiving business.
Skydiving.
You gonna come back and do a full band show here?
Yeah. So we got the trio now, which is awesome. Which
Rocks.
I would love to have the trio here.
Yeah, you were saying that you were doing that like more of like a blues kind of.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
definitely going to be bluesy, rocky feel, and the players are crazy. It's just it's a good old power trio.
Yeah, you gotta be. They gotta be good if it's a trio.
Yeah.
They also
Yeah.
have to be in shape if they're going to be involved
Yeah.
in whatever else is coming. So,
Yeah.
How often do they run?
I'm gonna ask them.
Jump rope?
Yeah.
They into jump
you
rope?
guys do jump roping?
We couldn't have asked them for this. They all would
the
have quit.
first rehearsal, they'll walk in. I'll just be jump roping, sweating profusely. Like, sit down.
yeah,
and talk to
they're
you.
just like, they got gear and it's actually just a bunch of CrossFit equipment.
Right.
You're like, move this tire.
Welcome to rehearsal.
yeah.
Put this amp on your shoulders and walk over there.
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy that training is over. I'll try to keep up with my body weight and shape, but that was a lot. That was
He didn't drink for a week leading up to it, and now he drinks heavily.
Yeah.
That is over.
To forget.
We're all trying.
That's what I got on video.
So are they going to send you a medal? Like, are you wearing a medal? You going to get like a
I think it's a
tattoo or
plaque, not a
something?
medal, is it?
It's a plaque.
Can you imagine if it was
We
a medal?
have up to a year to submit. So we have. Shout out to Ajante, our videographer. He has 30 hours of video footage because we had to, since we didn't pay to have a Guinness guy watch all this. We had to have a camera running the entire time, no stops. So he has 30 hours of footage. So we're turning that in. We have still photos from all 80 venues. We have the witness statements from all 80 venues, statements from people who work at the venues. We have to compile all of this and send it off to Guinness. And then we have a year to do that. And then as soon as, but we'll do that probably in the next week and a half here. And then after we do that, it'll take them up to 12 weeks to view everything.
Find somebody to look through 30 hours
An intern
of
will
footage.
quit when they tell them watch these 30 hours of footage.
Timestamp it all.
Yeah, we have to do all of that, and then and then as long as they give us the thumbs up, get a fancy plaque. So
And then they'll probably put your picture. Don't they do a book every year too, or something? There's always like a. Or they
Yeah.
used to be when I
fifth
remember,
graders everywhere are going to be able to read about him at the book fair.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
And
Which
then
was
not
the main
buy
goal.
it. Just put
Yeah,
it back.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rip the page out. So that's going to be the page that gets ripped out the most.
Right, of course.
Mm.
Of course.
Yeah, right next to the
lips
bearded
are worn
lady.
away.
I mean, James HATEM and the bearded lady.
But
And
yeah,
both
no,
of the
they'll do all
lips.
that. So it'll be exciting. So
Yeah.
Black will give me PTSD immediately. But
Well, we did it for a good cause. Again, it's
Absolutely, yeah, that's-
Music Venue Alliance Nashville and the U.S. Bartenders Guild to take care of the venues and the bartenders.
yeah, and
Yep.
they were amazing partners
Yep.
for us. The
And people
entire
can still
time.
go donate.
They still
People
they
still
can
go
still go
donate.
donate right now. Check the link out. But no,
It's in
the
the-
U.S. Bartenders Guild and MVan, they were amazing and helped in huge ways. Everything from just reposting stuff on socials to putting us in touch with some sponsors and everything. So we could not have done it without them.
Right.
So it's awesome to be able to give back to them. So,
And we're trying to. Do you talk about the documentary?
oh yeah, we should talk about that.
Ooh.
We've been shooting obviously everything, all the planning and everything, and then we have the 30 hours of actual day of footage. And so we're also gathering a bunch of content with venue owners, people who work in the industry around town, and we're going to make a documentary about the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And we've been in talks with some people at Sundance and some local and regional independent people like theaters
Mhm.
and stuff. And it'll probably take us longer than we think. It'll probably be,
You really need like a good editor, right?
yeah.
I mean, it sounds
we're-
like you have a lot of the information. You need somebody to go back and storyboard with the film with the stuff that you have now.
Ask
And, like,
that intern that's about to quit.
Yeah.
at Guinness
Yeah.
and see if they'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been Ajante, the videographer, he's loving it, and he's been awesome in capturing everything. So now the challenge is, all right, how many extra hands do you need to edit all that, get all the extra
Make it
footage
look
we need to
great.
like bookend the story.
mhm.
And so I think it'll probably take about a year before we can get that out. But
yeah, if you do it right,
yeah.
it should take a long time.
yeah. I mean, initially we were like, oh, we'll get this out by the summer. It'll be
No.
awesome. And
Do you have iMovie? I've got iMovie.
Yeah.
We can.
we do it on our phones.
Yeah. So, but
It'll take about a year.
It'll probably realistically take about a year if we
Yeah.
do it right. But that's the thing, and then we're gonna keep the donations obviously open for it, so that it'll be another surge of money going into the organizations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so just one more way to get more awareness, because even when things go back to normal, those venues and bars are still going to need to
Mhm.
recover from the year we just had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll continue to keep that link open and donate everything that comes in right back to them.
Yep.
So
That's amazing. You got any more questions? Are there any more questions out there? This is like the last chance.
No, man,
I'm watching the comments down here. If anybody's got any questions,
People
for,
say, "Hey, play the songs again."
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Get your
gonna go.
guitar.
Yeah. No one said that. That was just.
yeah,
No,
when,
I was like-
when
I
are
was
you
like- I was like,
when are you
okay.
gonna play those songs again? How long is it gonna take?
It's gonna take a bit.
That's probably why he got the trio together, because he was
True.
Yeah, it's
All
gotta
new
sound
material.
different.
Our two witnesses that night never want to see James again. They were great,
Yeah,
but
they were
after
great.
80,
That's
800
they're your
minutes of
biggest
James
fans,
HATEM.
man.
It's the opposite. At
They're-
the end of it,
they have no choice, but they're your biggest fans. They've seen you more times than even your mom, probably.
probably. Yeah,
That's true. They're
Yeah,
the super
all
fans
day.
now.
It's crazy.
They've,
Yeah,
they've
it'll
stopped
take a
answering my calls though. It's so weird.
It's super weird. They
ever since
unsubscribed from the
caller
website.
ID.
No, they were awesome. The witnesses were so awesome, and everybody on the team was so great. And I don't know when I'll play those songs again because I really, really don't want to. For like at least like for literally like a month. It was awful.
You'll just write.
Who
another-
brought this up?
Just write
Who
another
brought this
record.
Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, I think that it was just I didn't realize how physically demanding it was going to be.
You think
That
you're
was-
gonna write a song about it?
Probably.
It's just going to be screaming.
Uh-huh.
It's an artistic piece.
Scream
I call it scream therapy.
Oh my
Right.
gosh,
Yeah,
that's
it's an
hilarious.
artistic piece. Super.
James' art is going a different way than we.
Did you hear? Did you hear his new like 20-minute artistic track? That was like really cool. It's just called a world record.
So you're really into avant-garde stuff, right?
Is here like a lone flute, and, like, with just a lot of reverb on it.
It represents me alone in my suffering.
Yeah. Just close your eyes and you'll see my pen.
We're getting deep, boys. Getting deep.
Cut
We
the
gotta-
camera.
Yeah,
Cut
we
the
got to cut this one off.
This was awesome, and thank
But yeah,
you guys
thank you to
for
you guys too
everything.
for everything. You
Absolutely,
did. It was
man.
Incredible.
I loved working with you guys. What little help we could do. We're
It was
glad,
a lot of help.
we were glad to do it, man.
Yeah,
it
was a ton of help. So
it was
thank
fun to test the equipment.
The limits.
And all the bands that played that day too. Thank you.
It was
to all of them.
awesome.
They were all
You guys
amazing.
can go back. All the shows are still live or up on, I think, on the YouTubes. You can go just search Tuned In, go to our YouTube page. Follow us, please. We need 100 followers, so I can just tell people to go to youtube.com/Tuned In Live. And then they're still up on Facebook too. You're gonna have to endure me.
And Twitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Twitch. You're gonna have to endure me talking because I haven't chopped myself out of them yet. But go check it out. There were some awesome bands that day. They really were. I was
awesome.
pleasantly surprised with
Rocked it.
everybody.
Lindy LaChance, Ryan Clark, Western Bells, Arts Fishing Club, and
Zachary Scott Klein.
Crushed it. Thank you to all of them as well.
That was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just
Shout out
amazing.
to our director today, Chelsea Rooker, because she's back there cutting the show, and that was
Chelsea.
That's her
Yeah.
husband. That was old Zach Scott Klein.
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, no, everybody crushed it. Thank you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Tuned In. We really appreciate it. And to everybody who's gone and donated, again, the link is scrolling down there. So we appreciate all the help you've thrown back. Guys,
Absolutely.
thank you very much for hanging out today. We
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
guys.
for having us, Rabbi.
Appreciate it.
And thank you all again for tuning into the Tuned In. Just remember, when you're here, you're with the band / with Guinness Book of World Record holders today. We'll see y'all later.